Did you know that ChatGPT is actually a liberal? If you didn't know, well, now you know. But it's one of those things where ChatGPT was given a test to see, its political ideologies. And a paper from the UK-based research suggested that OpenAI's ChatGPT has liberal bias, highlighting how artificial intelligence companies are suggesting to control the behavior of the bots, even as they push them out to millions of users worldwide. So, at the end of the day, realizing that ChatGPT is liberal, you can do whatever you want with that information. I at least was just here to present it to you. I just at least wanted to just tell you that, ChatGPT is a liberal, okay? News number two, a robot can literally clean the restroom. I'm talking this thing will get to work. And yes, it does look slow. Yes, it does look tedious, but it's one of those things where it will actually do the job. Okay. I'm talking about it will vacuum the ground. It will clean the toilets like this. Like it will clean the sinks. It will do the mirrors. It literally will spray it all, like sanitize it. I'm talking like you literally don't need a human to do it anymore. Humans not only hate cleaning restrooms because some other humans are dirty, but this thing will literally like spray the ground, mop it, vacuum it, whatever you need it to do. And I'm talking about each little machine can do it itself. Like, think about this. This is actually really powerful. Like, look at this. This thing is just vacuuming the ground, just boom. And then it goes to the toilet, sprays it down. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, that thing is the future. Then it comes and then brushes and does pretty much anything that you needed to do. But the future is here, okay? The future is here, okay? There's literally a robot that can clean the restroom. And like I said, you're seeing it with your own eyes, okay? Next news. Google released a pretty much their own version of their own little AI. It is called Bard. And pretty much it's kind of like Google search enhance. It makes it to where instead of clicking through like a bunch of websites like you're on Bing, it pretty much would just like generate a little tab and give you all the information you need in a concise, easy to understand, visually appealing way. And so it's like not only does this aesthetic actually work, but like I said, it pretty much sums up anything that you want to know pretty fast. You don't have to go and click through 100 tabs, okay? It pretty much does the work for you, okay? And then you can even ask follow-up questions. So you can say like, if you ask it about, oh, what are some dresses near me? It will give you some dresses near you. Then the follow-up question could be like, okay, what about the shoes? And like I said, whatever Google search you have, at the end of the day, it can do. It can suggest food places. It could filter it out. It'll give you the names. And then you can go and try it out for yourself. Be like that little white girl. And at the end of the day, it does what Google does, where you can ask it questions, okay? And it's kind of like ChatGPT, but for Google search. It will give you videos, it will give you pictures, and it'll give you the top 3 websites for whatever it is that you're searching. And so, like I said, this has so much opportunity. This has so much potential. Like, it's actually really interesting. And kind of like I said, this is pretty much just like a version of the Bard. And you can just ask it like, what are some of the best places to eat in Boston? You can just ask it whatever it is that you want to ask it. And it's pretty much like a little ChatGPT, and it'll just kind of do its work. But the thing that's better about this is that not only was it already directly just connected to the internet, but it's kind of like this also has a vibrant food scene with something to offer to everybody. And it pretty much starts giving me places, it gives me websites, and this is just like a version of what it does. But if I actually go to say ChatGPT like this, I can do like the 40th president. And it literally would generate one of those like I can generate like an AI powered overview response, and pretty much it'll just give me like the same thing. This is Ronald Reagan and stuff like that. It's just pretty much like how Google used to be, and now this is how it is. So it's pretty much like, oh, Ronald Reagan, this is who he was, whatever, and that pretty much I could ask like who was the first lady and what happened to him during his thing and stuff like that. But pretty much just like an AI response of whatever it is that I'm looking for. And it gives me the top 3 websites that will have whatever it is I'm looking for. So instead of having to go through all these websites, instead of having to go through all this stuff, I pretty much can just like use it to pretty much do whatever it is that I want to do. Okay. The next news, Google is also coming up with a new AI tool called Genesis, and Genesis is pretty much a AI journalist. So Genesis is a tool that can help journalists generate news content. It is still in the early stage of development, but Google has said that it can help journalists with their tasks such as writing headlines, generating leads, and summarizing articles. So pretty much it's pretty much gonna not necessarily replace journalists, but journalists have no choice but to adapt or die, because AI is literally being able to write headlines, it's being able to generate leads, and it's being able to summarize articles. So it's one of those things where it's doing everything that a journalist would do, but it's doing it better, it's doing it faster, and it's doing it more effectively. Okay. And so what is the future of journalism? It says it's still early to say what the future of journalism, AI journalism will be, but however, it's clear that AI is having a growing impact on the news industry, meaning people don't really trust the news anyways, but when you have AI writing your news headlines, things are going to get crazy, especially when it gets to like election time, especially when it gets to like, oh, the difference between like how do you know what's true and what's not true. Like things are about to get messy, but things are also about to get to the point where you can have access to so much information through literally it being AI generated. Like the AI sometimes can even do it automated. Like I know how to make an AI generation like that using Zapier, you know? So like I said, AI journalists is going to be a thing in the future. Okay. The next news, Google is teaming up with American Airlines to pretty much make planes more efficient. And so the planes have contrast. Contrast is pretty much like when a plane flies through human areas, the soot from the exhaust can sometimes manipulate small droplets of ice. Oh, droplets and form ice. And so pretty much what this does is some contrails can spread and merge, converting thousands of square miles and trapping heat into the Earth's atmosphere. So it pretty much cools the environment because it traps the heat inside the Earth, or it traps it right in a little ozone. And so pretty much what they're trying to do is they're trying to use AI. All right, they're using pretty much a group of pilots. America flew 70 tests in 6 months while using Google's AI-based predictions, cross-referenced with breakthrough energy open source contrail models to avoid altitudes that are likely to create contrails. After these test flights, we analyzed the satellite imagery and found that the pilots were able to reduce contrails by 54%. This is the first proof point that commercial flights can verifiably avoid contrails and thereby reduce their climate thing. So pretty much Google's using AI to and pretty much pilots to and pretty much like it just lets planes fly. It lets planes fly at a lower rate than they usually would, causing them to pretty much avoid these contrails, allowing them to pretty much, let's see if I can find it. All right. So pretty much like planes usually fly, say around right here, or the higher they go, is more likely to cause the contrails, making trapping the heat in the ozone. But when they fly lower, they avoid it, meaning if they don't create it, then there's less of it. There's less of it, meaning like I said, it uses AI to pretty much reduce their carbon emissions. Okay, at the end of the day, and it pretty much helps the Earth through simply just using AI to take similar flights, to do like pretty much you still get to your destination, but you save the environment 54% more. Next and the last one is that there is an AI Jesus, meaning you can chat with Jesus and it will talk about everything that you want Jesus to talk about. It's literally like a little Jesus persona. And it's one of those ones where you can even chat with the other disciples, like Paul, Mark, Luke, John, Peter. And you pretty much can just like talk about anything that you want to talk about. You can ask questions, you can ask for prayers, you can ask like whatever it is that you want. Like it's literally like a Jesus, but like a little chatbot. And it's one of those things where it just goes to show like how far AI is going, because AI is literally connecting you to God. Like it's like I don't necessarily know how to put it, and like say some like it's kind of like this like some call it blasphemy and others are literally excited for it. So it's one of those things where like even I don't even know like how to feel about it, because at the end of the day, like I'm like, okay, like yeah, I'm not even gonna give my opinion. But the point is, it's like I just want you to know that you can now talk to an AI Jesus and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Okay. And so if you find this video helpful, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. I try to tell you about certain AI news that's happening. If you like it, if you find some of these interesting, if you didn't know about these and you learned something new, like I said, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. And this is all free. AI Jesus costs $2-3 a month, but I give you all this information for free, okay? And there's also another one called Chat with, oh, it says Chat with Satan. Don't even get me started on that. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you find this video helpful, if you like this AI news, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? And it's one of those things where even though you can chat with Satan, I don't think you should even try it, to be honest.